Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ivy English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is November 21st, and please turn to page 58 in your magazines. Today we're going to hear part one of a two-part article. Today we're going to be talking about a very popular food. Our title is The Simple Potato, the Inca, Famine, and Chips.
我们的中文标题是马铃薯深藏不露的平民美食。
Now, in the English title, they've picked out three of the most important things, in my opinion, about the potato. The first one is about its origin. The second one is about a very, very important historical event connected with the potato, namely famine in Ireland. And three is chips. Now, potato chips or French fries or whatever, these foods have made potatoes the most popular vegetable in the U.S.
好，所以呢，各位可以看到这个题目很好玩。他讲，首先 the simple potato 就是指马铃薯，然后呢，它后面有三个东西，但三个东西其实跟马铃薯都是息息相关的一些东西。例如第一个 the Inca 印加人啊，因为他可能是第一个这个食用马铃薯的或者发现马铃薯这个食物的人。然后呢 Famine 就是饥荒，因为我们在文章里面也提到马铃薯跟一个很大的饥荒有直接的关系，而且那个饥荒促成了人口的大量移动，这个才是它最厉害的地方。好，还有呢 chips 就是马铃薯片，有洋芋片啊，这个东西现在是世界上主流零食之一，那这个对整个人类的文化还有健康影响都很大。
That's right. But keep in mind that in America, we call them potato chips. In England, they call them crisps. They're not called potato chips. They're called crisps. And what they call chips, we call French fries. So it's confusing. America, potato chips 就是洋芋片. French fries is 薯条. In England, 洋芋片 are crisps and 薯条 are called chips.
所以好像正好相反，也没有相反。
Only for 薯条.
Yeah, only for 薯条。
Yeah, so for 薯条, remember fish and chips. That's fish with French fries.
好，那顺便注意一下这个重音啊，这个薯条 French fries 啊，重音在前面啊，不要念 French fries， 那听起来就很好笑啊。那还有 potato chips 啊，也是重音在前面啊，这在 potato 上面 potato chips 啊，那 potato chips 听起来也是很奇怪。
And also, the first syllable is a schwa, potato, not potato, potato. Now, we often say potato, but potato, the first syllable should be a schwa. Okay, so that's a little background. Let's read our article. The Simple Potato, the Inca, Famine, and Chips. When the topic of gourmet food comes up, the potato doesn't instantly pop into the conversation. After all, unaccompanied by butter, cheese, sour cream, onion, or seasonings like salt and pepper, it has an utterly bland taste. Yet, it is the fourth largest food crop following corn, wheat, and rice. In fact, there are roughly 4,000 varieties of potatoes grown the world over. Furthermore, the spread of the potato has played a crucial role in the growth of human civilization. The first people to domesticate the potato, that is, to grow it regularly and not rely on simply eating wild potatoes where they could find them, lived in what is now southern Peru and northwestern Bolivia in South America several thousand years ago. During their conquests of South America in the 16th century, the Spanish learned about the potato from the Incas and introduced it to Europe. The Spanish considered the vegetable useful for feeding its armies, and farmers in Europe also slowly began to accept and grow the crop. It has been estimated that from 1700 to 1900, the potato was responsible for a quarter of growth in population and urbanization in the Old World, Europe, Asia, and Africa. However, this reliance on potatoes also led to a terrible tragedy, the Great Famine of Ireland. From the start of the Great Hunger, as it was also called, in 1845, until its end in 1852, roughly 1 million people died from starvation and other related causes. The gigantic failure of the potato crops was due to a fungus, which Irish potatoes were particularly vulnerable to, because of the lack of genetic variety in the country's crop. Starving and desperate, between 1 and 2 million Irish people emigrated to England, Scotland, Australia, and North America. The Great Famine had such an impact on the world that it will be forever remembered as part of the history of the potato. Now, we're only halfway through our story. We'll read part 2 tomorrow. Let's go back to the beginning of part 1 now. So, the simple potato, that means a very, very common vegetable, and then we've got these 3 aspects of its history that we're going to talk about. The Inca, famine is hunger, and chips. When the topic of gourmet food comes up, the potato doesn't instantly pop into the conversation.
好 ，gourmet food 就是美食 ，gourmet 就是美食的、美食家的啊，就是a person devoted to good food and wines 啊，就很喜欢吃美食，很喜欢喝美酒的。有一个字跟它意思很像，叫做 epicure。epicure 它的拼法是 epicure。epicure。那这个字为什么会讲呢？因为这个字我们讲的伊比鸠鲁，啊，就小时候学的伊比鸠鲁啊，那它变成了一个名词 epicure， 就也是个美食家的意思。那伊比鸠鲁呢，它的英文是拼法是 epicurus， 好，那要注意它不是那 epicurus， 它是 epicurus， 啊，它重音在那个 q 上面。好，然后它的另外一个这个名词跟形容词 Epicurean 这个词也很好玩
Yes.
啊，不是 Epicurean 是 Epicurean， 它的拼法是 EPICUREAN EPICUREAN。 其实这个拼法我昨天在查字典，因为我不能拼错，我把它查的时候突然发现到注意到它的音标原来这个字音标是这样子。因为我以前看到这个字的时候都以为就念 Epicurean 啊，因为没有听过人家念过啊，原来这个重音很奇怪 Epicurean 啊，重音在那边，所以就是美食者。好，那 food 当然就是食物啊，所以当我们谈到美食这个 topic， 当这个 topic comes up， 那这个也是一个很好的一个 collocation 啊，一个 subject 会 comes up， 一个 topic 会 comes up。 这 comes up 在这里意思就是 to be talked about or discussed， 就是被提及的意思。好，事实上不一定是 topic 或者是这个 subject， 有的时候你可以说 well, his name keeps coming up， 啊，就是在我们谈话说怎么一直听到这个人的名字啊，他最近可能很红或怎么样的。
It just means 出现，
就一直出现，对，好，所以当我们谈到美食这个主题的时候呢，好 ，the potato 就是马铃薯 doesn't instantly pop into the conversation， 它不会 instantly 就是 at once， 就是马铃薯，我们谈美食的时候，马铃薯不会说立刻就 pop into 就是冒出来啊 ，the conversation 在这个对话里面冒出来，就是我们在谈美食，很少人突然之间会讲到说啊，马铃薯是美食啊，很少人会这样讲。
Now, Wesley mentioned 2 different words for people who are very picky about their food and very interested in food and like fine food. One is gourmet, and the other is an epicure, and this kind of person is Epicurean. However, there's another related word, and if you ever use one of these vocabulary books that you can get in English, they will usually introduce gourmet together with another word that commonly gets mixed up with it, and it's often mixed up. People will say gourmand, Gourmand, Gourmand. It means something different. A gourmand is somebody who just likes to eat a lot, and they often end up with some health problems. So gourmand is somebody who just loves eating, and they don't necessarily like really fine food or special food. They just like to eat. That's a gourmand.
啊，好吃的人哈，或者是我们现在讲的吃货。
Oh, right. Or 饕餮.
饕餮, that's very elegant.
That's very elegant. And it also usually means a gourmet, somebody who really cares about food.
Yeah.
That's right. So gourmand, I see it used wrong in the media, in newspapers sometimes. It's just somebody who really likes to eat. Okay, next sentence. After all, unaccompanied by butter, cheese, sour cream, onion, or seasonings like salt and pepper, it has an utterly bland taste. Now, my mouth is watering. I can't help it. I'm thinking of potatoes with butter, with cheese, with sour cream, with onion, plus salt and pepper, and that's really making my mouth water. Now, it's true that these things really do liven up a potato, but potatoes themselves actually do have a taste.
Yeah, 好，所以这个其实马铃薯本身它是有味道的啊，所以你如果吃习惯，但也没有那么难吃哈。不过这里我们现在看到他说 ，after all， 就是 after all， 这跟接前一句的，前一句是说我们谈到美食的时候，很少人会马上就想到马铃薯啊，但是 After all， 不管怎么说，有那种感觉。不管怎么说呢，的确是这样子。什么这样子呢？就是 unaccompanied， 就是没有什么什么的伴随啊，没有配什么东西。没有，这个是个分词构句 ，unaccompanied 啊 ，unaccompanied 这个是一个分词，没有什么的伴随。没有什么的，没有 butter， 没有奶油，没有 cheese， 没有乳酪，没有 sour cream， 就是
酸奶
啊，或者没有 onion 这个洋葱啊，或者葱，或者是 seasonings 一些调味料，例如 salt 盐，还有 pepper 胡椒，没有这些东西的伴随的话呢，下一句 it 才是真正的主词，这个 it 就是指马铃薯。马铃薯呢，如果没有这些东西配的话，它有一个 utterly 是完全的。completely, absolutely 完全 bland 就是 dull and insipid D-U-L-L 还有 insipid I-N-S-I-P-I-D 那就是淡而无味，所以没有这些东西的伴随的话呢，这个马铃薯是完全淡而无味所以它有一个 it has an utterly bland taste 就是它完全淡而无味。
It's true that if you serve cooked potatoes with any kind of fat and some salt, then they're really good. That is true.
的确，这个马铃薯如果配，其实有时候简单的配盐就很好吃了。
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they have in Germany. I mean, they have a bunch of potatoes with their hot meals.
Oh.
It's just something they eat. Yeah. And often they're just boiled and then a little salt.
Yeah. 所以德国他们吃马铃薯常常就是把马铃薯煮一煮，加点盐就可以配菜吃了。
Right. And they really like them. So, yet...It is the fourth largest food crop following corn, wheat, and rice.
但是呢，马铃薯是 the fourth largest， 就是第四大的 food crop， 就是粮食作物。food 是食物 ，crop 就是这个作物agricultural produce 就是 crop， 所以它是第四大的粮食作物。Following 就是紧跟在什么之后呢？前三大，换句话说，前三大是 corn 玉米，然后呢 wheat 小麦，还有 rice 这个稻米。
Right, and corn is also from the New World. That was introduced to the Europeans by the American Indians.
那玉米也是来自于新大陆，也是那个美洲原住民本来吃的一个东西，后来被带入欧洲。
Right. The Europeans are not so fond of corn as a vegetable. They think it's for animals. And corn is now in just about every processed food that you eat. Almost every single processed food there is has got corn in it in the form of sometimes corn syrup for sweetening or corn starch or all kinds of derivatives from corn. So these very big agricultural companies, they just get all the use out of corn they can and they put it in almost every processed food.
所以玉米很重要，是因为现在几乎所有这个经过处理的食物里面大概都有玉米的成分玉米可以有玉米糖浆，然后呢，玉米里面的淀粉也会被抽取出来所以各式各样的这个，甚至于包括很多垃圾食物里面都有 corn.
A lot, that's right. So I think they did a measure that most Americans are like 1/4 corn if they measured their blood or something, the contents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they can tell how much corn you've eaten, and it's always a lot. I learned this from a book by Michael Pollan, Pollan. You can look it up. He's written a lot of books about food, and this one was called something like The Omnivore. I can't think of the exact name. But Michael Pollan, look it up. You'll learn a lot, and you can find some YouTube videos. Okay, next sentence. In fact, there are roughly 4,000 varieties of potatoes grown the world over. Now, this is really important because we're going to talk about how the main reason for the Irish potato famine was because of lack of genetic variety. There are so many varieties of potatoes, especially if you go online and look up Peru and potatoes, and you'll see all different colors and sizes and shapes of potatoes.
Wow, yeah, I didn't know that. 这个马铃薯居然他这里讲说，大约有4000种不同种类的这个potatoes. 好，所以他说 in fact 事实上 there are roughly just about more or less 大约有差不多4000种的 varieties 就是不同的种类不同的变化 of potatoes. 所以马铃薯大概有4000种不同的马铃薯 grown the world over. 全世界种的马铃薯大概有4000种。
Especially in Peru. I mean, they're really big in Peru.
Yeah, 尤其在秘鲁那个地方的这个马铃薯种类非常的多。
Furthermore, the spread of the potato has played a crucial role in the growth of human civilization.
此外呢 the spread of 就是 the expansion of 扩展、扩张 expansion expansion， 所以 the spread of the potato 马铃薯的扩展 has played 它扮演了一个 a crucial role 一个非常关键的角色 crucial 就是 essential very important 的意思，在哪一方面扮演了一个关键角色呢？用介系词 in so it has played a crucial role in 在哪一方面呢？ the growth of 这个 growth 在这里呢可以把它解释为 progress 或者是 development甚至于是 evolution， 所以在 the development of human civilization 在人类文明的进展上面，马铃薯扮演了一个重要的角色。
Now, I was just thinking about how people eat potatoes around the world, and it made me think of a news story from not so long ago. There was a guy who had all kinds of physical problems, like allergies, skin problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then he decided to eat just potatoes.
Ooh.
He ate only potatoes.
Did it work?
For over a year. And all of his physical problems went away.
Wow 所以 Karen 老师他读到一个那个报道，有一个人他有很多问题，大概尤其是过敏还有皮肤的问题，然后后来他决定他就只吃马铃薯，只吃了什么东西都不吃，就吃马铃薯。吃了1年之后呢，他所有的身体问题都不见了。
Everything was gone.
这很厉害。
Before then, he was probably eating a lot of processed foods, and there's a lot of stuff in processed foods that you don't know about, and then it's actually quite toxic.And then if you have any kind of sensitivity to some of these things, it can make you really sick. So he got rid of all of these, whatever it was he was eating before, probably a lot of artificial ingredients and additives and things. And it's hard to imagine that somebody can survive on just potatoes. But his health improved greatly.
Wow, 很难想象有人可以自己就光吃马铃薯就可以了，而且他不但这样，他把身体的问题都治好了。
Yeah. I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying that's kind of an amazing story.
Yeah. 我们不是推荐各位什么都不要吃就吃马铃薯，而是告诉各位马铃薯它有一些很特别的地方。
Yeah, well, look it up. Yeah. I also know somebody who eats only pizza, so it's not to say only potatoes can do it. Next paragraph. The first people to domesticate the potato, that is, to grow it regularly and not rely on simply eating wild potatoes where they could find them, lived in what is now southern Peru and northwestern Bolivia in South America several thousand years ago.
好，所以呢 the first people 第一群人，也就是第一个人这个人种或者第一个这个种族呢，他们能够 domesticate 就是人工栽种，也就是驯服这个 potato 的人呢，然后中间一大堆插入的告诉你 that is 也就是说他们可以什么叫做 domesticate， 也就是说他可以 grow it， 就是种马铃薯 regularly 就是固定的栽种，而且不用 rely on 不用依赖 simply 不用依赖就简单的只是能够吃 eating
光光的对
simply 可以就单单就 solely 其实有那种 solely 的 merely 那种感觉然后呢 eating wild potatoes 就只能吃野生的马铃薯，也就是说这就是 domesticate 人工栽种的意思，就是你可以固定的栽种，然后不必依赖只能吃野生的马铃薯，然后而且吃野生的马铃薯 where they could find them， 这个 where 前面省略了 in places， 就是吃野生马铃薯什么时候能够吃呢？在你能找到野生马铃薯的地方才能吃马铃薯，也就是你只能靠野生马铃薯的意思所以注意这个 where 前面省略 in places。 那解释完这个什么叫 domesticate 之后呢，他说这第一群人工栽种马铃薯的人呢，他们住在哪里呢？ lived in what is now 就是现在式， what 就是 the place that 的意思，他们住在哪里呢？住在现在式南美的秘鲁，还有呢 northwestern 在玻利维亚的西北边在南美洲。那这些人现在他们住的地方现在叫做秘鲁或者玻利维亚，但是他们在几千年前住在那边 several thousand years ago.
Most of us assume that farming is an innovation that gave us a lot of progress, and it was a good thing for the human race. But I read about a scholar who thinks that actually agriculture was the beginning of the big problems of humanity.Yeah, you heard of that?
Yeah, 有这种说法就是我们觉得这个农业对人类的发展非常重要，这是件好事。但其实现在有一种不同的看法，就是农业其实是这个人类灾害或者是危害的 起源啊，就好像包括这个有人讲这个都市跟农业之间，都市的形成跟农业之间有很大的关系，但是形成都市之后，农业的规模就要更扩大，所以这加剧了人类对于自然的迫害或怎么样的，这样就有不同的看法。
Right. I just mention it because we make so many assumptions, but, it's worth challenging them. All right, next sentence. During their conquests of South America in the 16th century, the Spanish learned about the potato from the Incas and introduced it to Europe.
好 ，conquest 就是征服，所以在16世纪西班牙人征服南美的这个期间呢，西班牙人 learned about 这个地方 learned about 就是 to gain knowledge about， 他们知道了这件东西。这个 learned 不是学习，而是他们知道了马铃薯这个东西啊。从哪里学到呢？从 the Incas， 从印加人那边知道了这个东西，然后他们就 introduced it to Europe， 就把它引进了欧洲。
Right, learn about, we could say 得知。
得知 yeah.
The Spanish considered the vegetable useful for feeding its armies, and farmers in Europe also slowly began to accept and grow the crop.
那西班牙人呢，认为这个 the vegetable， 因为马铃薯是一种蔬菜嘛，认为它是 useful， 所以 consider 加受词加受词补语，受词是 the vegetable， 受词补语是 useful， 也就是说他们认为这个 vegetable 是有用的。对什么有用呢？ For feeding its armies， 就是提供食物给他的部队，给他的军队。那同时呢，欧洲的农夫也慢慢的开始接受马铃薯这个植物，而且开始种植这个 the crop 指的就是马铃薯。
And the crop here is actually basically a pronoun, so we don't stress it. We don't say began to accept and grow the crop. Crop is old information. It's basically a pronoun, so we say accept and grow the crop. It has been estimated that from 1700 to 1900, the potato was responsible for a quarter of growth in population and urbanization in the Old World, Europe, Asia, and Africa.
It has been estimated that 就是估计，据估计从西元1700年到1900年之间呢，马铃薯 was responsible for 就是他要为这个负责，也就是他是主因有怎么样 a quarter of growth in population 是人口成长1/4是因为马铃薯的关系，还有 urbanization 都市化也是马铃薯的关系，在 in the old world 在旧世界的都市化也是因为有马铃薯的关系，因为马铃薯比较它这个种植，所以可以喂养更多的人所以所谓的旧世界在这里讲的是欧洲、亚洲还有非洲。
However, this reliance on potatoes also led to a terrible tragedy, the Great Famine of Ireland.
但是呢，这个 reliance 就是依赖。我们刚刚在这一段的一开始有怎么样？有 not rely on 一样 ，rely 是动词 ，reliance 是名词。所以这样对于马铃薯的依赖呢，也导致 led to 一个 terrible 很可怕的悲剧 tragedy， 也就是爱尔兰的大饥荒。
At that point in time, farmers and their families were eating several pounds of potatoes a day. That's about all they ate.
在那个时候，其实很多农夫他们每天就是吃马铃薯而已。
Yeah, pounds, just a few pounds, and that was it. And in England, they were doing better, and there was an argument, well, should we, do something about Ireland? No, I don't think we should interfere.
好，那所以其实爱尔兰那个时候他们的农夫，他们每天就是吃几磅的马铃薯而已，
就这样子过日子，
就这样过日子。那所以后来没有马铃薯吃的时候，那就是很严重的问题了。
Yeah.
那英国那时候有人讨论说，我们是不是应该支援他们那后来他们决定是不用管，我们吃饱就好了。
That's basically what happened. If you go back and look at that history, it's kind of horrifying. All right, last paragraph. From the start of the Great Hunger, as it was also called, in 1845 until its end in 1852, roughly 1 million people died from starvation and other related causes.
好 from the start of something until 什么东西，就是有2个时间点嘛。所以第一个时间点是 the Great Hunger， 这大饥荒as it was also called。所以爱尔兰大饥荒，有人直接称它为 the Great Hunger。从它开始，在1845年，一直到它结束1852年的时候呢 ，roughly 大约有100万人死于 starvation 饥荒，也就是饿死 died from starvation 就是饿死，还有其他的 related causes 一些相关的因素，所以他可能不是饿死，他可能是营养不良死掉。
The gigantic failure of the potato crops was due to a fungus, which Irish potatoes were particularly vulnerable to because of the lack of genetic variety in the country's crop.
gigantic 就是 huge 啊，它跟 giant 这个是巨人这个字相关的，所以这个巨大的 failure 这个of the potato crops 就是这个作物巨大的一个失败，也就是没有这个种不出来。那这样的一个大问题呢 was due to 是因为一个 fungus 一个真菌。那这个真菌是怎么样？是爱尔兰的 potatoes were particularly 他们很特别的是 vulnerable to vulnerable 就容易受害，所以他们爱尔兰的马铃薯特别容易受到这种真菌的危害啊，而且他们 variety 不够，所以就一感染就完蛋了。那为什么呢？因为 the lack of genetic variety in the country's crop， 因为这个国家他们种的马铃薯是缺乏 lack of genetic variety 基因的多样性，所以他们碰到这种真菌就完蛋了。
Starving and desperate, between 1 and 2 million Irish people emigrated to England, Scotland, Australia, and North America.
Starving 就是快要饿死了 dying of food deprivation 快要没有食物吃了。然后呢 desperate 就是非常绝望，他们在这样的状况之下，大约有100-200万的爱尔兰人呢 emigrated to 移民到英国、苏格兰、澳洲还有北美。
The Great Famine had such an impact on the world that it will be forever remembered as part of the history of the potato.
Impact 就是 a strong effect 或者 to influence strongly， 所以呢这个大饥荒对于世界有很大的影响大到什么程度呢？永远大家都会记得它是马铃薯历史的一部分。
That's it for today. Tune in next time to hear part 2 of The Simple Potato, the Inca Famine.